Bubba, what did you do?
Alright, here's another Oh Bubba, what did you do? So, ARs are so easy to put together, that's why everybody likes them. But unfortunately, that means even dummies can put them together. And here's one where, if you look close, you can see that the barrel is actually pointed up. So if you're using iron sights, it's going to be way off. There's going to not be enough adjustment. It's so far off. You can actually see how bad that is. Why is that? It's a UTG rail, but these are actually decent. They're American made. But this is a billet upper, a really nice billet upper. And this rail has anti-rotation tabs, which are hitting on the billet upper. And you can see that's causing it to bind up. And if we look closer, there's other things too. This barrel nut, and I have a brand new barrel nut for it. There's a split in this ring, and that should be directly up because the holes are on the side, the bottom, and the other side. So this is your barrel nut on this style of rail. Tightens, and then this goes in, and then you put your rail on and you put your screws in. Well, we can see right in there, there's a split. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. You can see right in there where that split is. That means that that ring is sitting about here. So they drilled and tapped it, which means they screwed that up. So they don't have a rail that fits this properly. They didn't modify it to fit it. And they managed to booger that up. And also, don't know if we can see in there. It's going to be hard to get a shot in there. Let me see if I can get a shot of this. Actually, maybe we'll have to take the rail off to show that. But the gas block is totally crooked. And supposedly, they dimpled the barrel. Okay. So we got an assortment of mismatched screws. One of them, look at that. Totally different size. Not that big a deal. But look at this. Is that not a thing of beauty? Look at all those holes drilled and tapped. Wow. That is something special right there. And this is supposed to just come, oops, it's supposed to just go right in and out. These are not very difficult to put in there. They just go right in. These are just supposed to go right in and right out. This one is not coming. I'll grab a screwdriver and see if we can't just tap that a little bit. But wow. That is something. Even looks like it's wow. Let's grab a screwdriver and see if we can tap that out a little bit. If I have to hit on this hard, I'm going to take it to the bench in the back, but let's just see if just a few taps will get it out. It's moving. I'm not hitting this very hard because this is on my glass display case. Now she's moving a little. This is all kinds of special. Look at that. That is just wonderful. Supposedly the gas block's been dimpled. Need to grab an Allen wrench. Alright. I think, was this the size? No, that's too big. Oh, she's in there good. I'm sure there's a slathering of Loctite in this one as well. Oh yeah. If it was any harder, I'd have heated it up with a torch and softened that Loctite. And it does. Maybe there's... it's hard to say. Oh, yeah. He went Loctite crazy. That means we are going to have to heat this with a torch to get it off, because that's not going to move. So give us a minute and we'll get back to that. And you can see that gas block is clearly crooked. But let's go heat it up with a torch and remove it and see if they did dimple it. So these have been in the fridge cooling off for a bit. And I got most of the Loctite off, and that is his version of dimpling. It looks like he just held this in there and rammed a drill bit against it. I don't know if we can zoom in on that a bit. But yeah, we can fix that. As far as the rail goes, you can see where it was hitting. And we can go ahead and... that giant gap up there shows it can't go on enough. We'll go through and we'll machine the edge of these off and bring them back to the pretty much flush. We'll mic it, see what the gap is. It ought to be a fine. But I don't know if you can see in there. But it's been boogered up pretty good. This guy went to town. It's hard to get any light in there. So let's see what we can do and unbubba it. Alright, so we found our dead center with our edge finder. I have horrible light in my end mill. It's late at night, the kids are asleep. This is a favor for a friend, so can't do it during normal hours. But we got it set up so we can do an actual proper dimple that's centered correctly, so the gas block won't be crooked. We'll just come in about 35 thousandths or so. Let's bring it up to 5,000 RPM. And that's nice. That is not bad. So we found our edge with our edge finder. It's 200 thou diameter. This is a 3/8 inch end mill, which is 375 thou. Split that in half, is 187.50. So if we come into where we found our 0, we're going to cut off 87.5 thousandths. I wanted to be between about 80 and 100 thou for my cut. So bringing it into 0 will be just right. We'll do it in 2 passes. I'll take 60 off on the first and the rest on the second. And the second will be a cleanup pass. And it should come out nice. And we'll spin at full RPM, and that should handle this cut no problem. We'll see. Oops. All right. And since I don't have an end mill long enough to do this right now at the moment, we'll flip it over and cut the other side. All right, so we got our rail cut, and it looks nice. We'll touch that up with some ultra black. Look how crooked that was. Look at how bad that's how far off that was. That is horrible. Also, of note, when we were working on this, we found they drilled into the barrel. There was so much Loctite I had to sand it off. We'll touch that up with some cold blue, but they drilled into the barrel when they were drilling and tapping that little piece. I'm told this is a good quality barrel. I don't see any markings on it. I was told it's a Daniel Defense. I don't know if that's true or not. But let's put her back together and see how it looks. And you can see how crooked that is, and it was so crooked that, and I'll put a picture of this up here, that even after drilling it, and I went in 35 thousandths of an inch with a ball and mill, some of the original drilling is to the right. This one doesn't really matter. We only do one when we dimple them anyway. But that was just horrible. So now it's got a clean bill of health. Now we got a clean bill of health. Fits like it should. No giant gap. Everything's where it's supposed to be. And the barrel is nice and straight. So now a front sight will actually line up like it's supposed to.
Blah, 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 blah.